Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the live session for today's class. So, before starting or before going to the live sessions of today, first of all, thank you all for all the overwhelming responses that you have showed to our previous live sessions. We are very much enthusiastic about it right now, and we're gonna keep on doing it regularly. Regularly, in the sense, we will keep on doing our live sessions in this manner only. So, today we're gonna start with we're gonna discuss an paper that we have done yesterday, that is on Sunday. It was the second phase of our mock test series. যেটো আমি যোৱাকালি কৰিছিলো আমাৰ ফাৰ্স্ট সিৰিজটো অলৰেডি লাইভ হৈ আছে আপোনালোকে ভিডিও চাই ল'ব পাৰে আৰু ধুনীয়াকৈ আপোনালোকে ৰেসপন্স দিছিলে তাৰ কাৰণে থ্যাংক ইউ ভেৰি মাচ টু ইউ পিপল সো আজি আমাৰ সেকেন্ড সিৰিজৰ সেকেন্ড যেটো মক টেষ্ট ফেজ আছিলে আমি তাৰে কাৰণে তাৰে পেপাৰ ডিসকাশন কৰিম এনালাইসিস কৰিম যেটো অলৰেডি হৈ গৈছে কন্ডাক্ট হৈ গৈছে আপোনালোকৰ আৰু বিফোৰ গোইং টু দ্য পেপাৰ এনালাইসিস অডিও ভিডিও ক্লিয়াৰ আছে আপোনালোকৰ প্লিজ লেট আস নো ইউ ক্যান জাস্ট কমেন্ট ডাউন বিলো অডিও ভিডিও যদি ক্লিয়াৰ আছে আপোনালোকে ধুনীয়াকৈ কমেন্ট কৰি দিব পাৰে আমি গম পাম তেতিয়া যে ইটস টোটালি ক্লিয়াৰ এন্ড ইটস অডিবল আই এম অডিবল টু ইউ পিপল আপোনালোকে কমেন্ট ডাউন কৰিব আৰু লগতে if you people are here, so let us know by commenting it. Just keep on commenting so that we can know about your presence here. Yes, we're gonna start it right now. So I will be discussing, or we will be analyzing first of all your English test, English paper, English portion of it, which is very important for your prelims, and we already have mentioned here it consists of 30 questions, and we gonna keep on doing it serially. আমি serially গুটেইখিনি ডিসকাস কৰি যাম আপোনালোকৰ লগত আপোনালোকে ধুনীয়াকৈ গুটেইখিনি চাই যাব আৰু লগতে আপোনালোকৰ ইজি হওক যাতে সেইখিনি আপোনালোকে স্ক্ৰিনশ্বট লৈ নিজৰ কাৰণে ৰাখিব পাৰিব because it consists of everything that you need for your prelims. Okay, so we can start with it. Yes, so here you have the first question. So the first question here is direction, that is read the following passages and answer the questions below. Now আপোনালোকে maximum prelims ত আপোনালোকৰ আহিব আপোনালোকৰ maximum number থাকিব বা maximum questions থাকিব আপোনালোকৰ RC ৰ পৰা RC in the sense reading comprehension ৰ পৰা তো reading comprehension যেহেতু বেছিকে থাকিব আমি বা আমাৰ পেপাৰটো বহুতখিনি reading comprehension দিছিলো যিবোৰ probable questions হ'ব পাৰে and reading comprehension doesn't repeat itself but আমাৰ normal যিখিনি reading comprehension থাকে তাতকে বহুত বেলেগ থাকে it's on the higher level. So ইয়াতে বহুতখিনি reading comprehension এনেকুৱা পাব যিবোৰ আপোনালোকৰ আগতে repeat হোৱা নাই আৰু repeat নোহোৱাৰ বহুতখিনি chances থাকে এইবোৰ গুটেই repeat নোহোৱা questions হয় আপোনালোকে ধুনীয়াকৈ সেইখিনি পঢ়ি যাব পাৰিব এইখিনি ধুনীয়াকৈ continue হৈ থাকিব. So here we are with the first passage. So first passage here, it's a not a lengthy one, it's a moderate one. আপোনালোকে এনেকুৱা ধৰণৰে questions কিছুমান পাব যিবোৰ moderate হৈ থাকিব moderate in the sense না বেছি দীঘল না বেছি চুটি but the questions will consist of some thought provoking questions. मतलब আপোনালোকে বহুতখিনি ভাবিব লাগিব বহুতখিনি তাতে ভাবি মিলিহে answers কৰিব পাৰিব. It's not like that কি আপোনালোকৰ আগতে যিমানখিনি RCs পাইছিলে যিবোৰ simple আছিল তো হেনুকা ধৰণৰ RC নহয় এইখিনি প্ৰিলিমছৰ RCৰ পইণ্ট অফ ভিউৰে কৰা হৈছে য'ত আপোনালোকৰ বহুতখিনি থাকিব এনেকুৱা কোৱেশ্চন য'ত thought provoking হ'ব. It's like the idea of the passage, you will have to know the idea of the passage কি ক'ব বিচাৰিছে কেনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ আইডিয়াছ লৈছে সেইখিনি বস্তু থাকিব. সো এইটো এটা প্যাসেজ হয় যেতিয়া আমি প্যাসেজ কৰিবলৈ যাও যতে নহক কিয় আমাৰ এটা আইডিয়া থাকিব লাগে যে প্যাসেজটো নপঢ়ি আমি স্কিম কৰিব লাগে গুটেইখন নপঢ়ি ফাৰ্স্ট অফ অল আমি স্কিম কৰিব লাগে. নাও হোৱাট ইজ স্কিমিং? তো before going to the question, skimming is like উপৰে উপৰে আমি যেটো ডিসকাস কৰি যাম পঢ়ি যাম it's like reading the whole thing at a once, not trying to understand but going through it. আমি যেটো উপৰে উপৰে পঢ়ি যোৱা বুলি কওঁ হেতু থ্ৰু So it's like going through it. So passage korar hetu eta bahut dangor idea because passage e bahut time consume kori loy aru jate basic koi time lobo na lage hetu karone passage korute ami etu dhyan rakhibo lage jate eta eta shobdot ami mon nidi fele gute passage to ekebarate pohibo try koru. It's like upore upore ebar sai jam tar pisot hekini bostu continue kori jam. So let's move to the question first. Yate পঢ়াৰ আগতে আপোনালোকে questions খিনি আগতে চাব লাগে questions খিনি যেতিয়া আপোনালোকে চাই লব questions খিনি কিছুমান key points পাব আৰু সেই key points খিনি ধ্যান ৰাখি তাৰ পিছত passageত আপোনালোকে ধুনিয়াকে সেই key points বোৰ বা key words বোৰ find out কৰি passage খিনি লৈ লব পাৰিব তাৰে পৰা answers খিনি আপোনালোকে লব পাৰিব so whenever we are doing our passages so it's very important to know the key points or the keywords from there. Now, where will you get the keywords? Keywords will be there hidden in the questions itself. So, let's move to our questions first. So, here is our first question. So, like I said before, I mentioned before that these passages will have some thought-provoking questions जो आपको सोचने में मजबूर करेगा. मतलब it will compel you to think a bit lot and it will compel you to just go through the passage in a way so that you can find out the answers just not in a minute, but you will have to be concentrated in that particular passage. So, hekarne passage khon pohi apnaloke please time to nosto nokoribo. Jihetu passage bur okoman lengthy o thakibo pare. So, hekarne agote questions pohibo. Questions opora apnaloke kisuman keywords uliyai lobo pare. Let's move to our first question. First question is, which of the two conclusions have been drawn in the passage? Now here you will get 2 points. That is the two conclusion. Conclusions mean ami conclusions ketia pao. Jetia eta gute bostu khini ami pohi lao already. Already jebur bostu ami pohi lao tar pisot ki buji paiso it's like a summary obviously. So hei bostu khini ki buji palu amar point of view re hei bostu khini ami tate discuss korim. So yate first of all dia hoise conclusion a man can satisfy all of his essential needs himself and the second conclusion here is interdependence and self sufficiency complement each other. So two of the conclusion here mentioned about the passage is that number one is man can satisfy all of his essential needs himself and that means this passage the first passage is related to interdependence or like how we are dependent with each other to each other and how we can help each other that humanity or humility as a whole. So the conclusions are man can satisfy all of his essential needs himself and the second conclusion here is interdependence and self-sufficiency complement each other. So from here we can for example find out two kind of conclusions or keywords here. For example, the first one will be your self-sufficiency complement each other and from the first one we can say the whole sentence itself man can satisfy all his essential needs himself. So these are some of the key points keywords that you can find from the passage. You can mark it down in the question itself because going through the passage is not possible for you people will not be possible there karon apnalokor bahut time consume kori lobo passage kon pohute. So for the first question your answer will be B. So it will be answer number option number B, that is only the conclusion 2. Interdependence and self-sufficiency complement each other. So here we can see here interdependence is an out to be as much the ideal of a man as self-sufficiency. So here is the point. If put as much ideal self-sufficiency. Okay, so we got our first answer. So let's move to our next question now. We are done with the first question. Here is your next question. Why interdependence needs to be an ideal of man? So this question is of why interdependence needs to be an ideal of man. Now, a question to key kosa apnaloke hetu buji lobo lagibo. Not only this passage, the other passages as well. মই আপোনালোকক আগতেও মেনশন কৰিছো যে এইবোৰ প্যাসেজ প্ৰিলিমছ অৰ পইণ্ট অফ ভিউ ৰে আপোনালোকক দিয়া হৈছে প্ৰিলিমছ অফ পইণ্ট অফ ভিউ এইবোৰ বনোৱা হৈছিলে So jihetu enuka questions ahibo pare prelims or karone ebur questions bahut mandatory hoy bahut useful hoy apnaloke mon koribo pattern to mon koribo kenuka dhoroner questions ahibo pare tate pattern kenuka thakibo kenuka dhoroner questions ahibo aru RCs bur okol eta format ote nahe eta format in the sense there will be many types of RCs types in the sense they will have other subject matter as well tenukor political ethical fantasy literary any RCs can be there. So be prepared for all those things. Bahira studies koribo so that you have other knowledges as well, so that you can just catch from the mere side of the RC, you can catch what this RC consists of. All right, let's move to our next question. Here it is: why interdependence needs to be an ideal of man? Now we have got the interdependence in the first paragraph itself. Now here the question is: why interdependence needs to be an ideal of man? Why is it essential for our mankind or human being as a whole? So the second question, the answer will be all of the above. And let's see the options now. Man is a social animal. We all know man is a social animal. It's mentioned in the passage itself. We will go through the passage again. Next you have, we cannot be self-sufficient in all essential matters. Dependence on other instills humility and teaches humanity. Jitu ma agote already mention korisilo apnalokok je dependence ba interdependence e amar majot humility adan prodan hoan ba hetu bostue amar majot instill kore. Okay, so ekhini bostu tate mention ase, apnaloke dunia ke sai goi ase hetu bostu apnaloke please kobo if it's clear or not, sound is clear or not, if it's audible, if you can understand me or not. Apnaloke buzi pai ase na nai, ki buzi paise? If you have any problem, let me know in the comment section. Whatever your problem is. Meenakshi, language আমি গুটেকেটা ইউজ কৰিম, সো ইয়াতে অসমীয়া ইংলিশ হিন্দী আমি গুটেকেটা ল্যাঙ্গুৱেজতে কম, আপুনি ধুনিয়াকৈ এখিনি বস্তু বুজি পাব obviously। আৰু আৰসিৰ কাৰণে তাতে ল্যাঙ্গুৱেজ বুলি নহয়, আপোনালোকৰ পঢ়ি গলে ধুনিয়াকৈ আপোনালোকৰ আইডিয়া আহি যাব। আৰু তাৰে কাৰণে কিতাপ এতিয়াও পঢ়িব পাৰে, আপোনালোকে এতিয়াও ষ্টাৰ্ট কৰিব পাৰে, এতিয়াও পঢ়া ষ্টাৰ্ট কৰক। It's not a big deal ki apnaloke nezanibo boli, it's a foreign language, so it will take time obviously। আৰু সেই টাইমটো আপোনালোকে ইউটিলাইজ কৰিব লাগিব, নিজে ধুনিয়াকৈ পঢ়িব লাগিব। বাকি কোৱেশ্চনছ বুলি নহয়, আদাৰ্স এছপেক্টছ অফ ইংলিছ এজ ৱেল আপোনালোকে বেলেগ কিতাপ পঢ়িব পাৰে, গ্ৰামাৰৰ কিতাপ পঢ়িব পাৰে, বেলেগ ভিডিঅ'জ এণ্ড অল চাব পাৰে, মুভিজ চাব পাৰে তাৰ কাৰণে। সো আপুনি ধুনিয়াকৈ পাৰি যাব। অ'কে, so we can move to the next question right now. So here is our next question. It is that what is the most important message or idea conveyed by the passage? So just like I mentioned before, passage ot apnaloke enuka question pabo etia jot mane ki idea ase, tare summary to ki hoy, conclusion ki hoy, tate ki dhoroner bostu thakibo passage khonot, apnaloke সেই idea to kobo লাগিব। যেহেতু আমি কৈছো ইয়াতে humility কথা কোৱা আছে, man human as a whole keneke thake, idealization of humanity heiburer kotha mention kora ase। So yate apna question ase third number or what is the most important message or idea conveyed by the passage? The message that is inherent in the passage. So our options are: individuals which sacrifice himself for the sake of family, the family for the sake of country, and the country for the sake of world. It's like interdependence which we have discussed before. Ito interdependence or question yate option dia ase, yate dia ase je individually nijoke sacrifice koribo lage family karone, family sacrifice koribo lage country karone, aru country world or karone. This is our first option. Next option is interdependence and self-sufficiency both are equal ideals of humanity and essential for society. So yate koa hoise interdependence aru self-sufficiency. Interdependence itu hitur upor depend thaka, self-sufficiency is self-dependent, nijoke keneke rakhibo pari। So duitai amar mankind or kane important hoy। This is your second option. Next you have man cannot be self-sufficient for everything and none of the above. So yare point ketat ase man cannot be self-sufficient for everything. So the correct answer will be your option number, the correct option will be your option number B, that is interdependence and self-sufficiency both are equal ideals for humanity and essential for society. So in the passage itself it's mentioned that interdependence and self-sufficiency are equally important for our mankind to prosperous in this society. So let's move to our next question now. Number 4 question will be: which of the following assertions have been made in the passage? Assertions in the sense আপোনালোকৰ পেছেজটোত কিহৰ কথা কোৱা আছে কি মেনশন কৰা আছে সেই বস্তুখিনি আকৌ এবাৰ আপোনালোকৰ কোৱেশ্চনত দিয়া আছে so for that you will have to know everything that consists in the passage আপোনালোকৰ পেছেজত কি থাকিব কেনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ কোৱেশ্চনছ থাকিব পাৰে কি সোমাই আছে সেইখিনি পেছেজত লাগিব আৰু এনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ পেছেজেছ are very important for your prelims so আপোনালোকে ঘৰতো যেতিয়া প্ৰেক্টিস কৰিব try to focus on those editorial part of the newspaper tate apnaloke bahut khini passages pabo bahut khini rcs pabo eke dinot apnaloke dhuniake hekhini practice koribo paribo so that vocabulary o apnalokor increase hoy aru passage korar speed to keneke hobo pare keneke koribo lage hekhini bostu apnalokor dhuniake practice hoy thake so in this question you have which of the following assertion have been made in the passage so the first point here is world is akin to a big family that means world to eta dangor family nisina next you have it is a natural to distinguish between one's own and others religion so here according to the second point it's mentioned that it's natural that we distinguish between other religion and our own religion next you have duties to self family country and world are not independent of each other and all the duties that we have towards our family country or for self as well it's not independent everything is interdependent number 4 will be self sufficiency and interdependence do not go hand in hand so number 4 is here self sufficiency and interdependence do not go hand in hand matlab dono same nahi hai it says that both of them are not same and the fifth one purity of heart enable us to have a better understanding of our duties so for our better understanding of the duties we need to be pure we need to be pure from our heart so number 4 will be your the option number C it will be your option number C that is 1 3 and 5 here you can see 1 3 and 5 number 1 is world is akin to big family that means it's a big family we live in a big family together everybody is there present okay so okay sure Arun okay sure so the third one will be duties to self family country and world are not independent of each other yes we have already got it we have already gone through it duties to self family country and world are not independent of each other matlab everything is interdependent gutei khini interdependent hoi thake itu hitur logot family country world gutei khini ekeloge jorito hoi thakibo then the fifth one is purity of heart enable us to have a better understanding of our duties now purity you need to be pure so that you can understand about everything your duties and everything regarding yourself your family country or world so we can move to the next question now here the next question is which of the following acts would be in contravention of the ideals espoused in the passage so here you have the question which of the following acts would be in contravention of that ideals espoused in the passage whichever ji khini kotha amar passage tot mention kora ase jibur bostu yate mention ase already tare against kuntu kotha ba kuntu action hobo pare so here you have the options preparing one's own meal without assistance of others then you have offering assistance to one's neighbor with the expectations of seeking his help in time of need number C is emphasizing on superiority of one's own religion and all of the above so the correct answer will be C correct answer will be your number C that is emphasizing on superiority of one's own religion okay so these were your 5 questions regarding the first passage so I am sure you are clear about it kiba problem thakile apnaloke please koi dibo so these are your this is the first paragraph that we have discussed it would amar first paragraph to complete so let's move to our next paragraph here now in the next paragraph as well it consists of 5 questions next paragraph to apnalokor 5ta questions thakibo and 5ta questions are first this is the first paragraph this is the second paragraph okay this is the second paragraph and আগৰ দৰে আমি আগতে কোশ্চেন খিনি চেক কৰি লম আমাৰ কোশ্চেনছ খিনি কি আছে তাতে আমি হিখিনি চেক কৰি লম তাৰ পাছত প্যাৰাগ্ৰাফৰ ভিতৰত আমি কিৱৰ্ডছ খিনি তাতে পইন্ট আউট কৰি লম তাৰ পিছত আমাৰ সেই হিচাপত এনসাৰছ বোৰ কৰি যাম let's move to the questions here the first question is why does the author forbid disposition of wealth of rich by use of force so this questions mean why does the author forbid disposition of wealth here you can point out disposition of wealth of rich by use of force so here the question means author kyo kose je wealth or disposition or karone why can't we use force wealth to distribute koribo karone hokolure majot equally distribute hobo karone ami force kyo use koribo nalage ba noaru nalokor yate options ki thakibo use of force will lead to violence next you have use of force will make society bereft of the man who has the knowledge of generating and accumulating wealth bereft means নাইকিয়া কৰি দিয়া বঞ্চিত কৰা কাৰণ যেতিয়া ফোর্স ইউজ কৰিম সোসাইটি পৰা তেনুকা মানুহ জানা হুনা মানুহ নাইকিয়া হৈ যাব পাৰে next you have use of force is against principles of democracy and number D is all of the above so here the correct answer will be your option number B that is use of force will make society bereft of the man who has the knowledge of generating and accumulating wealth obviously if we are gonna use force while disposing of wealth then we will be bereft of the person who has the knowledge of generating and accumulating wealth matlab jar hatot hei knowledge to thakibo wealth keneke distribute koribo lage kar logot distribute koribo lage ami teon henuka manhor pora bonchito hoi thakim hei karone in the passage it has been mentioned that we shouldn't use force for the disposition of wealth in the society all right so this was your first question regarding the second paragraph the next question here is what remedy does the author suggest if the rich refuse to adopt the doctrine of guardianship so you can point out here doctrine of guardianship and be guardians of the poor what remedy does the author suggest if the rich refuse to adopt the doctrine of guardianship so here we have discussed about doctrine of guardianship that has been mentioned in the passage so yate question to hoise je author e kenuka dhoroner remedy suggest korise jar through dia jodi rich refuse kore doctrine of guardianship to lobo karone then aru nije jodi guardian hobo bisare poror to kenuka dhoroner ami measures imply koribo par so your first option is state should intervene and nationalize their wealth so the first option is state involved hobo lagibo tate state involved hole he gute wealth khini nationalize kora hobo aru ikhini equally distribute hobo next option will be poor may forcibly acquire what is their right and the next option is their use of ya fir kore nijor shakti istemal kori ya fir force use kori সেই nijor কাম to uliabo third one poor should adopt the technique of non cooperation with the rich in matters of generation of wealth so yate hobo lagibo je non cooperation method use koribo lagibo non cooperation use korile tita teonlukor bostu khini teonluke pabo and the third of fourth option as usual will be your option number D all of the above so this one is your option number C the poor should adopt the technique of non cooperation with the rich in matters of generation of wealth because jodi teonluke cooperate kori jay yate mention kora mote jodi cooperation hoi thake tenahole teonlukor hator pora wealth naikia hoi thakibo aru teonlukor pabo logia wealth khini teonluke nepabo okay hi Manisha if you have any problem you can just comment it down thank you Akis creation all right okay so let's move to our next question here the next question is which of the following cannot be said to be true about the doctrine of trusteeship now here you will have to be very precise and very clear apnaloke enuka question bahut pabo jot mane thakibo cannot be said to be true by yare jagat ketiaba question ahe not true এনুকা ধৰণৰ কোৱেশ্চন আপোনালোকে বহুত পাব কাৰণ তাতে ইটস ইজি টু গেট কনফিউজ সেই কোৱেশ্চনবোৰে আমাক কনফিউজ কৰাত বহুত ইজি হয় কাৰণ ইয়াতে চাওক which of the following cannot be said to be true about the doctrine of trusteeship as enunciated in the passage doctrine of trusteeship or বিষয়ে যিখিনি কথা তাতে কোৱা আছে প্যাসেজটোত তাৰ বিষয়ে কোনটো অপচন ইয়াৰে পৰা ট্ৰু নহয় সো এনুকা কোৱেশ্চন আপোনালোকৰ ডিফাৰেন্ট প্যাসেজেছত বহুত পাব আপোনালোকে বহুত থাকিব তাতে আৰু তেনুকাত আপোনালোকে প্ৰিসাইজলি কোৱেশ্চনটো ভাগ কৰি পঢ়িব লাগিব নাও প্যাসেজ খনত ডাইৰেক্ট কোৱেশ্চনছ নাপাব আপোনালোকে এতিয়া আগতে যেনেকৈ আছিলে যে ফাৰ্স্ট প্যাৰাগ্ৰাফত ফাৰ্স্ট আনসাৰ পাম it will not be the same like before so here you will have to break it down the question to break it down you will have to break it down in other parts of breakdown koribo lebo for example which of the following cannot be said to be true now here you have breakdown one about the doctrine of trusteeship and as enunciated in the passage so you have to break down you will have to understand the question what does it mean properly so it's in the negative context so here the options are the wealthy are trustee of their superfluous property number B they should not possess more than what their neighbors do the wealth in excess of its needs has to be utilized for the benefit of society and number D is none of the above so these three are you have to find out a tinita point doctrine of trusteeship or logot related hoy ne nohoy so first one wealthy are trustee of their superfluous property mane yate koa hase wealthy khinir hatot jiman khini superfluous properties ase tare teunke trustee hoy next you have they should not possess more than what their neighbors do so doctrine of trusteeship mote neighboror jiman ase tatte beshi teunke pabo nalage ba teunukor hobo nalage number C wealth is excess of this needs has to be utilized for the benefit of society so yate koa hoise jikhini teor wealth ase excess wealth thakibo jikhini teunloke excess wealth hobo teunukor hekhini benefit of the society karone use koribo lagibo so these are the options so the correct answer would be your option number D that is none of the above so doctrine of trusteeship or yare not true but cannot be said to be true a tinita doctrine of trusteeship already ase so it is none of the above so let's move to our next question here here in the number 9 you have which of the following ideas has the author tried to convey in the passage so here again we have the same question that is what is the idea of okay sure so which of the following ideas has the author tried to convey in the passage so here are the 5 options that is superfluous wealth of the rich should be nationalized by the state and used for the benefit of the poor everybody must labor for his bread rich should act as guardians of poor the wealthy should be disposed of their possession by all means and number 5 poor should employ non-cooperation in case rich fail to act as the guardians of poor so parebore eketa bostu repeat hoy ase that is non-cooperation then you have superfluous wealth of the rich then being the guardians of the poor so these are some common factors that has been mentioned in the passage ami aron ami passage to pohim digholia etu bostu ako pohim tare agote ami questions kini clear korilom because passages takes a lot of time that's what I have been mentioning je tumaloke passages kini bare bare pohi pele time to consume kori noloba because we need to do other questions as well but we will go through the passages as well okay so here the options are of your 5 options you have here so the poor should eketa bostu tate repeat hoy ase that is poor guardian of poor wealthy should dispose of their possession by all means using for the benefits of the society and all those things so these are some common factors that has been mentioned in the passage itself so your correct option will be C the correct option for is C that is 2 3 and 4 everybody must labor for his bread the rich should act as guardians of poor and the wealthy should be disposed of their possession by all means so these 3 are the correct answer for the ideas so these are the ideas that the author tried to convey in the passage. All right, let's move to our next question here, the last question for this passage. Examine whether the following inferences can be drawn on the basis of the passage. So inferences in the sense তাতে যিখিনি বস্তু দিয়া আছে তাৰে পৰা আমি অপশনস টু লব পাৰো নে নোৱাৰো, তাতে যেটো মেনশন কৰা আছে হেতু বস্তু ৰেলেভেন্ট হয় নে নহয় প্যাসেজৰ লগত হেতু চাব দিছে. So the first one here is rich should not possess superfluous wealth. আকৌ হেতু বস্তুৱে ৰিপিট হৈছে. Next you have violent action to disposes rich will not benefit society. Number 2 is violent action. Violence or কথা ইয়াতে আকৌ মেনশন হৈছে. So here the options is only inference 1 can be drawn, only inference 2 can be drawn, both the inference can be drawn and none of the inferences can be drawn. So your correct answer will be option number B, that is only inference 2 can be drawn. Ami repeatedly eta bostu pai ahisu, that is about the violence action. So yate number 2 to hoise violent action to disposes which will not benefit the society. Okay, so some of you have mentioned passage to pohai diar karone. So obviously let's go to the passage then once. Passage to ebar ami read kori long. Passage to read kori long ebar. So yate ase indeed at the root of this doctrine of equal distribution. Sep ami jibur bostu question ot pai ahisu. That is doctrine of equal distribution must lie that of trusteeship. Doctrine of trusteeship. Aru apnalukok eta bostu mention kori diu, you will not get direct question or direct answers or direct words or phrases in the paragraph now. আপোনালোকে ডাইৰেক্ট ওয়ার্ডস বা প্যাসেজেস নেপাব তাতে, কারণ এই ডাইরেক্ট ওয়ার্ডস বা প্যাসেজেস আজিকালি ইয়াতে ইনক্লুড নকৰে. আপোনালোকে তাৰে কাৰণে ভকেবুলাৰি বহুত দৰকাৰ পৰিব. ভকেবুলাৰিৰ কাৰণে তাতে থাকিব লাগিব, ভকেবুলাৰি বুজি পাব লাগিব কিমানখিনি আছে কি আছে. আপোনালোকৰ ভকেবুলাৰি ক্লিয়াৰ হলেহে words bu buji pabo. For example ami gutei question burot ki pai ahisilu doctrine of equal distribution ya fir doctrine of trusteeship. Yate gutei sentence to apnaloke ekbar mon korok, doctrine of equal distribution must lie that of trusteeship. So yate directly dia ase kintu ami jetia eya korisilu questions korisilu tate ekhini horuke dia hasile, that is thulmulke mention kora asile. So next apnalokor ase sabo of the wealthy for superfluous wealth causes ami jibur pai goisu moi underline kori jam ami jikhini bostu pai goisu, that is superfluous wealth causes by them. Them means kar kotha koa hoise richer. For according to doctrine 32, so yate mainly kuntu kotha mention ase doctrine 32, they may not possess a rupee more than their neighbors. Ami already paisilu question na etu hoise may not possess a rupee more than their neighbors. Neighbors otke e tokao besi pabo nelage. Are we to quote mention kora ase doctrine number 32. How is this to be brought about? Non-violently, or should the wealthy dispose of their possessions? So it's like a direct conversation with the reader here. To passage to direct conversation type of dia ase apnaloke dhuniya ke bostu khini pohi sabo yate. To do this we would naturally have to resort to violence. Aru jodi ami hikon pabo lage tena hole passage mane yate we would naturally have to resort to violence. This violent action cannot benefit the society. Society will be the poorer for it to lose the gifts of a man. Aru society kyo poor hoi jabo violence use korile, because it will lose the gifts of a man who knows how to accumulate wealth. Jitu ami paisilu yate will be the poorer, lose the gifts of man means they will be better. Jodi violence use koru teonluke tare pora bonchito hoy. Then you have, therefore the non-violent way is evidently superior. The rich man will be left in possession of his wealth, of which he will use what he reasonably requires for his personal needs and will act as a trustee. So he karone ki koa hoise je jiman khini teonlukor possession ot ase teonlukok jiman khini dorkar hobo teonluke use koribo aru hei jikhini baki thakibo teonluke poro trustee hisabe kam koribo to be used for the society. In this argument, honesty on the part of the trustee is assumed. Aru jihetu teonluk rich hoy, so teonlukor pora honesty asha kora hoise on the part of the trustee is assumed. Good evening, Krishna. Thank you. I hope it's very helpful for you people. If however in spite of the utmost effort the rich do not become guardians of the poor, kintu jihetu yate apnalokor ekhini এনেও দৰকাৰী হয় কিছুমান জেনাৰেল নলেজ লাইক আই said before জেনাৰেল নলেজৰ কাৰণে আপোনালোকে মনত ৰাখিব because poor help কৰিলে you doesn't become the guardian of the poor. That's what mentioned in the passage. Become the guardian of the poor in the true sense of the term, and the latter are more and more crushed and die of hunger. What is to be done in trying to find out the solution of this riddle? I have lighted on non-cooperation. Yate amar writer ba author I use kori kose, that is like it's first person ot ase keneke kotha to koa hoise keneke bostu khini mention kora hoise yate mention kori disu. The rich cannot accumulate wealth without the cooperation of the poor in society. If this knowledge were to penetrate and spread among the poor, they would become strong and would learn how to free themselves by means of non-violence from the crushing inequalities which have brought them to the verge of starvation. So, তেওঁলোকে যদি ইমানখিনি গম পাই যায় বা শিকি যায় according to the author, তেওঁলোকে বুজি পাই যাব যে কেনেকে তেওঁলোকৰ পৰা বাহিৰত ওলাই আহিব লাগে and how they can be free without even using violence, and by using non-violence they will become free of it. Okay, so this was the first paragraph of the passage. Next you have, I cannot imagine anything noveler or more national than that for say 1 hour in the day we should all do the labor that the poor must do. So it's like come to bhogai loar nisina jikhini pore kore tare 1 ঘন্টাৰ কাৰণে দিনত আমিও কৰিব লাগে এইটো বস্তু মেনশন কৰা আছে. So yate hetu ase, then you have and thus identify ourselves with them and through them with all the mankind. So ami question discuss korunte koisilu everything is interlinked boli. So interlinked hisabot yate koa ase je jetia ami teulukor logot mili kisuman kam korim kisuman bostu janibo bisarim tetia amar karone সহজ হ'ব in a broader sense গুটে বস্তুখিনি শিকাৰ কাৰণে গুটে বস্তুখিনি জানাৰ কাৰণে. Hello Priyanka, good evening. So it's not a daily class, eto daily class নহয়, এয়া question paper analysis হয়. এটো আমাৰ prelims or কাৰণে যেটো question paper হৈছিলে হেতুৰ কাৰণে question paper analysis হয়. It's not your daily class. তো ইয়াতে আমি questions বোৰ আৰু probable questions in the sense কেনুকা ধৰণৰ patternৰ questions আহিব পাৰে কি আহিব পাৰে কেনুকা তোমালোকে RCs পাব পাৰা হেতু বস্তু আমি ইয়াতে discuss কৰি আছো. Right, so let's move to the next paragraph here. And I cannot imagine better worship of God than that in his name I should labor for the poor. According to our writer or our author, God of worship korar karone beleg eku nelage amar, we have to find each other within our work. So tare karone ki kose God, then that in his name I should labor for the poor even as they do. So ami God or karone kiba koribo lagile ki koribo lagibo je poor labor logot kam kori ekelog hoy bostukhini buji pabo লাগিব. So I cannot imagine anything noveler or more national than that for say 1 hour in the day we should all do the labor that the poor must do, and thus identify ourselves with them and through them with all mankind. I cannot imagine better worship of God than that in his name I should labor for the poor even as they do. So last paragraph here is undie bread by the sweat of thy brow. Undie bread by the sweat of thy brow, says the Bible. Sacrifices may be of many kinds. Many kinds. One of them may well be bread labor. If all labored for their bread and no more, then there would be enough food and enough leisure for all. Then there would be no cry of overpopulation, no disease, and no such misery as we see around. Such labor will be the highest form of sacrifice. So when we will do this, this will be the highest form of sacrifice as a mankind. Man will no doubt do many other things either through their bodies or through their minds, but all these will be labor of love for the common good. There will be no rich and no poor, none high and none low, no touchable and untouchable. This was the important line throughout the passage. So this was the second passage for you people. So let's move to our next passage here. We have already done the questions. So here also you have passage, again you have passage. So here it's about sustainable development. This passage is of sustainable development. Let's move to our first question. This is the first question here. This question says that why is sustainable development described as a difficult balancing act in countries with low income? That is, your first question here is why it is described as difficult balancing act. Sustainable development is very difficult in the countries with low income, and the options here you have 4 options. They do not have the resource for economic growth, have to strike a balance with trade-offs between economic growth of present generation, protecting the environment and interest of future generation. The third one is they are unable to respond to people's needs, share information on choices, cost, and ensure participation and ownership. And number D will be your all of the above. So first question will be your, first answer will be your B. They have to strike a balance with trade-off between economic growth of present generation, protecting the environment and interest of future generation. Now, the second question here is your, which of the following are features of India's growth on the path of sustainable development? So now, etu kihor question related to India. So here you have the question, which of the following are features of India's growth? So which of the following are features of India's growth on the path of sustainable development? So here you have 4 options, and then you have other options as well, 4 points. And here India has laid emphasis on protection of its natural environment. Industrial growth has contributed significantly to its GDP, gross development. Sorry. Reliance on fast-growing services has helped in reducing the emission intensity on its growth. And fourth one, there has been improvement in social well-being measured by parameters like life expectancy. So these are your points related to the question here. So you have the other options as well. So in this, the next question will, the correct answer will be option number C. That is 1, 3 and 4. Let's move to our next question now. Next question is, which amongst the following is not listed in the passage? Now again, the same type of question, that is not listed or not mentioned. Listed or not mentioned in the passage as a measure for environmentally sustainable growth. So this one is an important keyword for you people, that is environmentally sustainable growth. Environmentally sustainable growth or karane ki hor kuntu bostu passage to mention nai, we'll have to discuss it. So here the first point is your answer, that is your robust growth of 3 key section of economy, namely amar 3ta key section of economy ase, he 3ta hoise agriculture, industry aru services. Ei 3tar equally jetia growth hobo tetia he environmental sustainable growth or kotha koa ase. So ei bostu tu tate mention kora nai. Aru baki 3ta already passage of mention ase, that is increasing expenditure on energy access and other basic necessities for poor, pricing of energy and other resources economically, broad basing of economic and social development. All these 3 are already mentioned here. So let's move to our next question here. Next question is, consider the following assertions. Ami agor nisna ako question paiso, that is following assertions. Assertions kini jikini monot thakibo hekini ami yate sai jam, that is 2 of the assertions, duta point yate dia ase. For any development to be sustainable, there must be protection of livelihood of people, their participation and a sense of ownership to the development process. Development process jikini hobo tare logot ami relate koribo paribo libo. Hekhini amar logote hoi ase, amar karone hoi ase boli he bostu to ami realize koribo paribo libo. Next, you have development in countries with low income cannot inherently be sustainable on account of contradictory requirements of economic growth and environment protection. So here you have environment protection. So according to this questions, your option number A will be the correct answer. Only assertion is true. Assertion 1 is true. That is, for any development to be sustainable, there must be protection of livelihood of people, their participation and a sense of ownership in the development process. So the last question regarding this passage is, as per the passage, which are the 5 key challenges for sustainable growth before India? Here you have 8 options. You have 8 options. So here you need to know about the 5 key options. You have to find out the 5 key options. Yate ki ase? Managing continuous growth in agriculture, achieving food security, challenge of climate change, challenge of providing basic health services, achieving water security, achieving goal of housing for everybody, managing the rapid urbanization and achieving the energy security. So yate apnalokor 8ta option dia hoise. এই 8টাৰ ভিতৰত কোনবাটো 5টা included হব ইয়াতে important হয় আৰু এই 5 key challenge for sustainable development or before India এখিনি mention কৰা আছে so your option number D is the correct answer that is your 2 3 5 7 and 8 so this is 2 3 5 7 and 8 these are your correct options so we are done with the 3 passages let's move to our next passage here here also we have a passage again so apnalokor passage khini repeatedly ahi thakibo because for prelims passages are very important for you people there will be grammar question as well grammar question apnaloke tate pabo bahut khini pabo kintu logote passages oto mon dibo lagibo passage khini bahut important hoy because amar normal jibur passage ahe tenuka dhoronar passages apnaloke yate napai অকমান তাতে বেসিকে ভাবিব লগিয়া thought provoking question থাকিব explanation wise questions থাকিব যেনেকে আমি ইয়াতে ডাইরেক্ট পাইছো মানে তাতে ডাইরেক্ট questions mention না থাকে সো এনুকা ধৰণৰ questionৰ কাৰণে আপোনালোকে বহুতখিনি passages repeatedly practice কৰি যাব লাগিব all right okay all right so it is about the bourgeois class now what is bourgeois class the upper class in the sense the middle people ami jeneke kom middle class people so it's like middle class people er kotha koa hoise it's about bourgeois class so let's move to our questions here first question as per the passage which among the following is not what the bourgeois has destroyed again the same type of question following is not what the bourgeois has destroyed so the number 16 first is none of the above feudal ties family relationship respect for various occupations so a2 easy asile ekhini bostu bourgeois class mane middle class family ba middle class people ekhini destroy nai kora the second question here is as for the author why has bourgeois brought a radical change in the social relationship first one is bourgeois revolutionizes the means of production and hence the whole relation of the society next you have bourgeois values only money all right so it's the both 1 and 2 so bourgeois class middle class people ami already agote political ba nuka pohi ahisu bourgeois class or kotha so it's like bourgeois revolutionizes the means of production and hence the whole relation of the society bourgeois values only money that is middle class people money value kore aru middle class people gutei production or means to revolutionize kori pelaise let's move to our next question here next is which of the following is not the character of bourgeois again the same question is not the character of bourgeois okay it's not the character of bourgeois here you have the option so the option number B is your answer preserving earlier order and means of production it's not the character of the bourgeois that is middle class people so bourgeois means it's middle class people just like I mentioned before apnaloke vocabulary khini important hoy boli ebur apnalokor synonym antonyms or kane important hobo pare jibur apnaloke rc pabo ba beleg dhoroner bostu pohile pabo so everything is interlinked in English so he karone apnaloke dunia ke words buro notice kori jabo words bur mention kori jabo so হেবোৰ বস্তু যেতিয়া মেনশন কৰি যাব হেবোৰ বস্তু যেতিয়া আপোনালোকে পঢ়ি যাব তেতিয়া আপোনালোকৰ synonym antonyms ৰ কাৰণেও হেল্পফুল হৈ যাব okay right so let's move to our next question here now next question here is why does the bourgeois seek new markets for its products now middle class people নিজৰ কাৰণে established market নলয় কিয় new market seek কৰিছিলে বিচাৰিছিলে there are 3 points it is egotistical character of the bourgeois to seek new market destroy the existing setup and establish a new order so teonukok egoistic bili koa hoise egoism thaka bili kose then you have new markets bring greater profits number 3 is after some time the existing markets understand the exploitative character of the bourgeois hence it is compelled to search for new markets so these are your 3 points 3 key points regarding this and it's the only option B that is this new markets bring greater profits not the 3 not the other 3 but that second one new markets bring greater profits and for that matter bourgeois khinie mane middle class people amar new market to kotha bisarise new market establish matu bisarise And the last question for this paragraph is your, which one of the following is the outcome of the bourgeois system? So bourgeois system or middle class people or jitu system asile tare pora kuntu outcome hosile. You have free trade, charter freedom, more employment, and the correct answer will be option number A, that is only one. This is free trade, because তেওঁলোকে new market establish কৰিছিলে আৰু new marketer লগত free trade or বস্তুখিনি বা তেওঁলোকে free trade to মুকলি কৰি দিছিলে. All right, this is the last questions for this passage. Next, move to our next one, and here also you have a passage, again a passage. So next passage is, the country has made great strides towards increasing food grains productions. Now here we have discussed about this passage is all about food grain productions and all right. So let's move to the questions here. The first question, as per the passage, for which among the following reason is it necessary to increase the agriculture production and productivity? So agriculture production kini ba productivity grow korar karone necessary increase korar karone kuntu necessary. So yate ase, ensure food security of Indians, achieve targeted economic growth, save valuable foreign exchange utilized in import of essential agricultural products. So yate apnalokor hobo number 1 or 8. That means 3 of them. That is your, to ensure food security of Indians, it's very necessary to increase the agricultural production. Number 2 ase, achieve targeted economic growth. Next apnalokor ase, save valuable foreign exchange utilized in import of essential agricultural products. So your option number A is the correct answer. Let's move to the next question now. Here you have, which among the following is, again, not a major highlighted in the passage, and regarding what? Increase the agricultural productivity. Kihor regarding question to us, to increase the agricultural productivity. So here the question option number C is the correct answer. That is, emphasize on easy availability of crop insurance. And what are the options? Let's take a look at it. Increasing capital investment in agriculture, effective coordination and monitoring of various ongoing agriculture and allied sector programs. Number C, emphasize on easy availability of crop insurance and dissemination of technology and provision of better agricultural input. So our correct answer will be C, that is, emphasize on easy availability of crop insurance. And these measures is not highlighted. It's not highlighted in the passage. Okay, the next question here you have is, as per the passage, which amongst the following is a factor because of which greater emphasis must be laid on a secondary food processing? So here you have key point for this, greater emphasis must be laid on secondary food processing. Number 1, secondary food processing is likely to increase the income of farmers. Next, you have demand for secondary food processing is likely to substantially increase as there is huge demand in Western countries and India can now access their market. So these two are the points given for you, and the correct option will be A. That is for only reason 1. And what was the reason 1? Secondary food processing is likely to increase the income of farmers. All right. Next question for this passage is, which among the following ideas is supported by the passage? Now here again, thought-provoking question. Now the thought-provoking question, you will have to understand the passage here. So here it is, increase investment in agriculture by the private sector, diversifying agricultural produce, ensuring available a better quality of fertilizer and pesticides. So your answer will be this. 3 of them are correct. So these are the ideas supported by the passage. Okay, and the last question for this passage is objective of the passage. This is very important. These kind of questions are very important for your prelims point of view, because they will relatively ask the objective of the passage. Author ki kobo bicharise, passage or objective ki hoy, passage to ki mention ase, ki kobo bicharise passage to enuka question apnaloke puar bahut chances ase for your prelims. So be careful with each and every point that has been mentioned in the passages. All right, so here you have the objective of the passage: identify the problem before Indian agriculture, emphasize upon the need for a second green revolution, highlight the need of ensuring better returns for farmers, and identify the challenges and way forward for the Indian agriculture. So the correct answer will be your option number D. So here we come to the end of the discussion of passages. So let's move to the other 5 questions here. So a passage khini I'm sure you are clear about it. Kenuka dhoroner pattern or questions ahibo pare. Kenuka pattern or apnaloke passages pabo pare. I am very sure passage getar pora apnalokor helpful hobo. So let's move to the other 5 questions and the other 5 questions of grammar. So grammar porao kisuman portion apnalokor tate thakibo prelims ot, mainly kisuman important, that is your vocabulary part or pora apnaloke synonym antonym lobo pare, idioms and phrases lobo pare, tar pisot apnalokor one word substitution thakibo pare. Then grammar portion or pora apnalokor teneke filling the blanks with appropriate words from the options given below. That is, it's like to complete the sentence or completion of the paragraph completing. All right, paragraph or filling the blanks in one words. There will be 2 lines or 3 lines jitu apnaloke fill up koribo lagibo. Agote ami jenuka filling the blanks korisilo hetu type or, but it's in a more broader sense. All right, let's move to the first question. First is Duryodhana was the main dash of Pandavas. Etia Pandavar karone Duryodhana ki asil? Options enuka jeta question ahibo, if you have any doubt regarding ki yare gute keta same hoy ase, yate ami ki bhoram ki korim buli, tene hole ami yate age meaning eta sai jabo lagibo. To enmity mane ami already jano, enmity mane hoise rivalry. Enmity mane apnalokor hobo rivalry. Next you have adversary, that is opponent. Enuka question on apnaloke first ote meaning to janatu basic dorkari, basic important hoy jate apnaloke meaningfully answers khini koribo pare. All right, next you have effrontery, that is your bad manners. This is bad manners. And next you have adversity. Adversity is like to have misfortune. It's like misfortune. Okay, misfortune. So these are your answers. So now we will have to understand what does this line mean. Duryodhana was the main dash of Pandavas. Pandavas or kane Duryodhana ki asile? It was like he was the misfortune for Pandavas, and the correct answer will be your option number D. All right, let's move to our next question. 27. Slaves were freed from dash only after they died. So slaves or kotha ase, yate slavery kotha ase. Abolition mane hoise cleansing, poriskar kora. Yate ako agor dhoroner meaning sabo lagibo. Abolition mane hoise cleansing. Apnalokor meaning bur apnaloke bhalke monot rakhibo, jate apnalokor pisole kamot ahe, that is your synonym antonyms orto kamot ahe. Then you have pilferage. Pilferage mane hoise low value ba low quality bostu jitu ami suri koru ba stealing things of little value ba low value enuka bostu suri kora toke kwa hoy pilferage. Then you have agreement and bondage. We all know agreements mane dujon manor majot jitu agreement hoy kiba bond sign kora hoy, then bondage is also the same. So it will be your were freed from pilferage only after they died. Mane teolukor jitu independence to teoluke loi loise hetu teolukok ketia free kora hoy jetia teoluke kia hoy jay, mane dhukai jay. All right, next you have if a rider doesn't hold the dash correctly he can fall. Yate directly apnalokor jehetu koisu je sentence to complete koribo lagibo tenuka dhoroner question ahibo, to yate directly mention nai kihor kotha koa hoise. Option sale ami gom pam yate kihor kotha koa hoise, that is your bridle. Bridle mane hoise ঘোৰাৰ যেটো মুখত আৰু মূৰত বান্ধি হেড গিয়াৰ এটা ইউজ কৰা হয়, যেটো হেড গিয়াৰ ইউজ কৰা হয় হেতু কোৱা হয় ব্ৰিডল. ব্ৰাইডল আমি সকলোৱে জানো, that is your koina and all related, wedding and all. Then we have whip, sabuk. Then saddle. Saddle to hoise jitu ghurar oporot thoi dia hoy seat to hetu koa hoy saddle. So if a rider doesn't hold the dash correctly he can fall. To 28 or apnaloke question sai moi apnalokok meaning koi disu, answer dibo pare. Yes, it's correct, it's A. Yes, it's option number A. It's 28 or option number A is correct, that is bridle. If a rider doesn't hold the bridle correctly he can fall. All right, let's move to our next question here. So the question is, the disciplinary committee has dashed the use of detention after classes as a punishment for bad behavior. Extended, authorized, next extended, authorized, claimed and embargo. So yate apnaloke eketa sauk, extended mane extend kori dia, dikolia kori dia, pisoloke rakhi dia, extend kori dia. Then you have claim mane hoise fasten, kiba eta bostu fasten kora. Claim mane hoise to fasten. Then you have embargo. Then you have the embargo. Embargo is like official ban on trade and commerce between two countries. It's official ban on trade and commerce between two countries. So here are your meaning regarding the options. You can just write it down. Apnaloke comment box or answer koribo pare. Yare kuntu hobo, disciplinary committee has dashed the use of detention after classes as a punishment for bad behavior. Apnaloke please mention korok yare kuntu hobo. Acha, okay. So, the disciplinary committee has authorized the use of detention after classes as a punishment for bad behavior. So, correct answer will be B. And the last question for your English paper will be this: to use a sporting dash, middle age is like half time at a hockey match. So, to use a sporting what? Middle age is like half time at a hockey match. Mane middle age kihor logot tulona kora hoise, compare kora hoise hockey match or half time or logot. So yate ki use korise. So your options are device, analogy, anatomy, synonym. I want to know the answer from you guys. Just write it down in the comment section below here, because here it's very important to know enuka terms or ami ki use koro, because one word substitutions, idiom phrases, but in all of those things, these are very important to know. So yate ase to use a sporting what? Ki thakibo? Device, analogy, antonym ya fir synonym. Ki hobo apnaloke please point out korok answer. Okay, Anamika, option A. Okay, Aru. To use a sporting days, middle age is like half time at a hockey match. Hockey match or half time or logot tulona kora hoise amar middle age to. So etu ki hobo? Sorry Anamika, it's not A, but it's option number B. That is, it's called analogy. Analogy is comparison between two things. Okay, comparison between two things for clear explanation. So analogy hobo yate, to use a sporting analogy, middle age is like half time at a hockey match. So ekhini asile apnalokor important kisuman English question hoy. RC asile maximum RC ami discuss korisu. RC kini bahut besi important hoy for you people, for your prelims. আপোনালোকে ইখিনি হেল্পফুল হ'ব, আপোনালোকে ইয়াৰে পৰা বহুত খিনি শিকিব পাৰিব বুলি আশা ৰাখিলো। আৰু লগতে words বোৰৰ ওপৰত আপোনালোকে প্লিজ মন দিব and keep practicing, because words বোৰ very important হয় আপোনালোকৰ synonym antonyms ৰ কাৰণে। vocabulary জানাটো বহুত বেছি important, so that যেতিয়া RC কৰিব সেইখিনি আপোনালোকৰ কাৰণে helpful হৈ যায়। So stay tuned with us, because next Kalyan sir will be discussing maths after 15 minutes. So stay tuned with us, and we will meet in the next session. Thank you.